stepping into a profoundly emotional life lesson. It's a story of absolute transformation, going from rock bottom to finding true, undeniable purpose. This isn't just some made-up narrative. It's a mirror reflecting the very real struggles that so many of us face every single day. We're going to follow the motivational arc of a young person who finally realizes the immense value of time and fights their way back to a truly meaningful life. Let's jump right in.
So, let me ask you something right off the bat to set the stakes. Is your time also slipping away in mobile screens and sheer laziness? I know, it's a super uncomfortable question, right? Especially today. We live in this era of just infinite distraction. This totally targets a demographic we all know. Young people whose immense potential is literally draining away through those glowing rectangles. It's the modern trap. And before we can even talk about transforming your life, we really have to honestly confront this reality.
Section 1, Wasting Telling. Picture this, a lonely room, a city drenched in rain right outside the window, and the inescapable, relentless sound of a ticking clock. It's heavy, right? That's the weight of lost opportunity. The rain perfectly symbolizes that internal gloom and isolation, while that ticking clock, well, that's the heartbeat of lost moments. It's a stark reminder that while you might be sitting perfectly still, the universe is constantly, relentlessly moving forward.
And those wasted moments, they usually stem from habits that seem simple but are actually incredibly destructive. We're talking about endless mobile scrolling, playing video games for hours on end, and just surrendering to sheer laziness. There's no grand evil villain in the story. The real antagonist here is apathy. These habits are all about passive consumption rather than active creation. And honestly, this is exactly how days are lost. It's not in one big catastrophic failure. Actually, scratch that. It's more like millions of tiny, insignificant moments where we just choose comfort over effort.
Moving on to Chapter 2, Success and Realization. Because eventually reality comes knocking, hard. It's that incredibly painful realization of feeling completely left behind while you watch your friends achieving success. Just imagine seeing the people you grew up with, the people who had the exact same 24 hours in a day that you did, moving forward, building careers, and actually achieving their dreams. Ouch. But you know what? That pain of stagnation, that feeling of being left in the dust, is often the absolute most potent fuel for personal transformation.
Which brings us to Section 3, the lost time. There's this profound thought. You can get everything back in life, but lost time never comes back. The person who leaves today's hard work for tomorrow only gets regret tomorrow. Think about that for a second. Money can be lost and earned again. Relationships can be broken and mended. But a Tuesday spent endlessly scrolling on a phone, that is gone forever. It is effectively deleted from the universe. This deep emotional realization is a threshold that absolutely must be crossed. You basically have to feel the sting of tomorrow's regret today just to fundamentally change your trajectory.
Part 4, the decision to change.
This is the turning point. It's where the dark shadows of laziness wash away, replaced by vibrant colors that symbolize a brand new mindset. It's the dawn of discipline. That crushing regret we just talked about, it doesn't turn into despair, it turns into pure, unadulterated resolve. The story doesn't end in that lonely, rainy room. No way. This is the exact moment where passive suffering transforms into an active rebellion against bad habits. But hey, a new mindset is completely useless without execution, right? So what are the actual mechanics of this change? Well, there are 4 foundational steps. 1. Wake up early. You gotta conquer the morning to conquer the day. 2. Read books. Start feeding the mind instead of numbing it. 3. Go to the gym. Forging that physical discipline totally bleeds into mental toughness. And 4, learn skills. It's all about replacing the passive consumption of things like video games with the active creation of real-world value. These aren't just random activities. They are a complete, systemic overhaul of a human life. And yeah, it requires hard work day in and day out.
And our final section, take the first step today.
It all boils down to this single truth. If you want to change your life, you have to take the first step today, because time waits for no one. This isn't just some motivational fluff you see online. It is a profound truth based on the undeniable reality of time. You simply cannot pause the clock while you sit around deciding if you're ready. The world is moving. Your peers are moving. You have to take action today, right now, with whatever resources you have. Because honestly, tomorrow is merely an illusion where our worst habits like to hide. So I'm going to leave you with this final thought. Will you take your first step today, or are you going to choose tomorrow's regret?
The story we just explored proves that the trajectory of your life isn't fixed. Those dark periods can absolutely become bright. The wasted hours can become the rock-solid foundation for immense discipline. But the choice is entirely yours, and the clock is ticking. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. I highly, highly encourage you to make